Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Alright, basically this is gonna be a quick video, alright, just to just put it out there, right, for brothers, you know what I'm saying, those who have a hard time, coming up with topics for videos, or things to do videos on, man. Just through the spirit, just a couple of like some advice and some pointers. Like basically you can you can bet, it's good to have news pages. For example, I have the RT app, the RT News app on my phone, so I constantly check that, to see what's going on. It gives you, let me just put this on. See, when you click it, it gives you the business section. All right, the latest news is on here. Okay, the world news is on here. U.S. news, UK news, business news, Russia, everything is on here, man. Okay, so it's that's a good thing you can use. I also have a breaking news app, all right, which basically notifies me, all right, every time anything happens, man. All right, on my phone, I'll see it. Okay, so with that, you're able to stay in prophecy. You're constantly seeing what's going on around the world, matching those which are scriptural, which are prophetic, and you can do videos on that, to inform the sheep, man. All right, you don't got to think of, oh damn, I'm trying to do a 50-minute sit down. What topic can I do? What I'm trying to go deep. Nah, man, push out, like, yo, man, whatever way you can. There's certain books you can read books, and bring it out. For edification. All right. You can filter things that are happening in the world, testimonies, experiences, all right? As long as they're edifying, you can bring it out, man, through the spirit. So you have different avenues to go to. Of course, you got those topics which the spirit will just hit you in order to put that topic in your spirit, and then, you do that, okay? But don't let that be the only thing. Don't just sit there and say, I'm waiting for the spirit to hit me, all right? Because then you're not really doing your best. What you want the Most High to come and tap you every time to do a sit down. Of course, the spirit will be on you. All right, when the spirit is on you, you do your sit downs, but you got to pray to the Lord to keep that spirit on you. Okay, and you also got to give your diligence. All right, do your part, man. Have different avenues. All right, bookmark news websites that you can constantly check and see what's going on. Bring them out. You see stuff about the chip, stuff about martial law, stuff about the net neutrality, whatever it is, bring it out, man. All right? Don't feel like, oh, well, there's already 5 videos on it, so what's the point? Nah, man. Push out this word, man. Okay? Flood this. They're about to shut this internet down real soon, man. They're about to shut it down. And I know brothers did videos. I saw the elder Yashawamba, he did a video, okay, and other brothers too. The brother Tazwan in my camp also did a video, okay, that I saw of the YouTube incident. How they're basically if you watching what's going on, they're making this character, okay, the lady or man or whatever it was that shot up the YouTube headquarters. They're basically trying to portray her as somebody, as if she was in the truth. Because the things that she was saying are things that brothers say, okay, about how, Esau is trying to turn people into robots, censoring videos, so on and so forth, okay? But what are they also doing? They're demonizing her along with that belief, okay? So they're basically trying to make it seem as though she's crazy, she's bugged out, she's this and that, and this were her reasons. These were her reasons. So anybody else who's in that mindset is also a threat, because they can be a potential person to do this. Hence, we gotta censor their videos, take them down, avoid them influencing others. They could come out and say she was influenced from us, they can do so much stuff with that. But you see how they're setting it up. You can bring that out, man. All right, you don't always have to be limited. Don't limit yourself, man. All right, whatever's edifying, man, through the spirit, bring it out, man. Don't just sit there and not do anything, okay? And the spirit ain't hit me yet, man. Nah, man, it's not. You gotta put in work, man. You gotta put in work, dig deep, find stuff and bring them out. All right. 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. Don't just sit your ass out. Just expecting. Something to. Nah, bro. Study. Look for things. Okay. Read. All right. Watch the news. Stay in the spirit, man. We're prophets, so you gotta what? You gotta keep watching. You're a watchman, right? Now, what kind of watchman sits down waiting for somebody to come tell him, hey, this is what's going on, you should probably report that? No, you're a watchman for a reason. You're supposed to be the one watching and bringing out that information and warning the people. Okay? So it says, study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Okay? You got to study, man. Okay? But through a spirit, I was trying to give you, just like different avenues so you can constantly rebound off of, the different sections, and you're not just a sitting duck. All right? Slovakia. Just to fine tune the search, because election, sure. Yeah, we gotta use certain keywords. 2 Peter 1:10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Diligence meaning you're doing your best. You're constantly on top of your game. Looking for stuff. Watching. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like with the pace at which these prophecies are unfolding, there has to be something going on. What can I bring out? What's new? You can watch the economy. The stock market is constantly depleting. Okay, this trade war is intensifying. Tensions between Russia and not only U.S. but the U.K. and these other countries are also increasing. Okay, you have Russia, Turkey, and Iran, I believe, saying that they're coming together, trying to fight against anybody who's trying to cause separatism within Syria. Okay. That's spiritual. That's prophecy. All right, you can bring that out. You have so many different things you can do videos on. So many different things you can edify on. Okay, but if you out here sitting here talking about I don't got a topic. I can't do 3 videos a day. I can't do 2 videos a day. I can't do 3 videos a week. So what can you do? The information is there. You see, brothers are able to do it. So listen, man. This isn't. You're not a baby, man. You're not gonna be spoon-fed everything, okay? You got to get up and go get it. You want it, you got to go get it, man. Okay, you got to show the Most High, I want this, man. I'm here. Okay, so I'm gonna finish the scripture. It says, to make your calling and election sure, for if ye do these things, ye shall never fall. Okay, you shall never fall, because what? You really won't fall into temptation if you're constantly watching, you're constantly looking for things, like Apostle Gabar says, when he's done with this sit down, he's right there and there, he's looking for the next, his next video. What's it gonna be on? Now, if you're in that mindset, you're not gonna be out here getting distracted, because you're on a quest, you're on a hunt, you're looking, you're searching, so you're busy, you're occupied. Okay, you're not just sitting there idle. Okay, because with that brings what? That brings demons, man. Because you're not doing anything, so they're just like, well, since you're not doing anything, try doing this, and next thing you know, you all caught up in some shit. You caught up in some stuff, man. Okay, let me see, what was that precept? There it is. It is Isaiah 6:8. It says, also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me. Okay, you got to be in that spirit of constantly be ready. All right, you constantly ready, man. So the Lord could constantly put that spirit on you to keep pushing these videos, man. To speak for the Lord, man. To be in the spirit and bring out what the Lord wants to be brought out. You got to be that ready spirit, that ready vessel, so the Lord can send the spirit within and use as a mouthpiece to address what He wants to be addressed. All right, you got to be reliable. Okay, you can't just be on one time and then just completely off and not come back. All right, you got to be there, man. You got to be ready at hand for the Lord. Okay, and in that case, the Lord will definitely be on your side, man. The Lord definitely get your back. Okay, because He's gonna know you. The Lord is gonna know you, man. You want the Lord to know you. You want your name to be one of those names who I know we're not worthy, but through the Spirit, man, you want the Lord to be pleased with what you're doing, man, because He sees you're trying and you're constantly doing your best, And hey, you might not be the most knowledgeable. You might not have the greatest amount of faith in the world, okay. But hey, if you're able to do one video, okay, and you doing your best to step it up. Now you're able to do 2 videos. Man, the Lord will take that over somebody who can do 5 videos, but they're not doing it sincerely. The Lord will definitely take that over, because what? He sees that you have the effort, man. So it's a light thing for the Lord to increase your spirit, increase your faith, increase your knowledge. It's a light thing. Okay, because the Lord knows within your heart that you're willing to push it, man. You can only do 1, but now you're doing your best, so now you're able to do 2. All right, that's what pleases the Lord, man. That's the kind of spirit the Lord is looking for, man. The humble and the meek, the ones who are trying. Okay. So hey, man, do your best, Lord. You know what I mean? It was just a quick video, you know, to inform brothers, you know, just in case, you know, brothers might think that, you know, they don't have, you know, topics, or, you know, they don't know what to do videos on and stuff like that, man. You got a lot of stuff going on in the world, man. All right, you can do history. You know, Apostle Tahar always says, you know, go into the Hebrew. Okay, you know, just find stuff to bring out, man. All right, you can put clips of what's going on in the world. You know, there's a lot of stuff, man. All right, find your lot and you know, just do it. All right, but Lord willing, this video is edifying to the elect. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and Shalom.
That's not in the book of Jeremiah, but it was passed down orally. From the time of Jeremiah, the Babylonian captivity, all the way up to the Greeks. That's a long time.
But you know, Simon, let me just say this, man. For all the pain and all the oppression we went through, man, you gotta blame our forefathers to keep going off, man. Because time after time, the Most High warned them and raised up deliverers to deliver us from out of our captivity, man. And we would see miracles, and we would see certain signs from the Most High, but guess what? We still went off, man. And I don't understand that, man. I don't understand why our forefathers went off.
Apostle Paul went in depth on that, brother. So
well,
what you should know is, if you don't understand it, know that the Most High set it up to be that way. Apostle Tahar spoke about that. He said the Most High set us to go off.
Well, the Most High said, put it out, some say, program us to go off, but you know what I'm saying?
For what? For prophecy's sake, brother.
I'm just saying, you know what?
We have to play out the Most High's movie.
I understand that the Most High programs to go off, but what I'm saying is, you see these miracles, man. You like,
bro, brother, look, Adam had eternal life. You know that?
Yeah,
Adam was supposed to be immortal, but look what happened.
Because it's fucking woman.
It was meant
so it's meant
they didn't
that
go
way,
off.
brother.
They didn't go off. Then prophecies wouldn't be fulfilled.
Exactly, bro.
It's all according to the Most High's will and His power, His great, mighty, righteous power, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, man.
I know, brother. But look, brother, look.
This is Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me.
Exactly.
They are sottish children.
Because Jake can keep doing the same shit over and over again. There's nothing new. The Most High knows niggas in and out, sideways.
There's nothing new under the sun,
front,
man.
back, forwards, every which way. The Lord knows how Jake is, man.
Hey, but you know, let me say this, Slakia. I know that while we went up, the Most High programs to go off, man, but it
brother, the Most High program us to go. Because look, brother, the scriptures speak about in 2 Ezra, the 3rd chapter. It says, Adam, what hast thou done? All right, Adam, what hast thou done? Because now, because of this, all of us gonna have to suffer for what you did.
God, you know,
and so looking at it according to the scriptures, brother, it all stems from what happened in the garden.
The same questions you're asking is the same question Ezra was asking the angel.
Exactly.
But remember how he said, I can't understand it? What did the angel tell Ezra? Trying to understand the way of the Most High?
Exactly.
You cannot comprehend the ways of the Most High, man.
It's all up to the Most High.
We all vex, brother. Yeah. We all vex with it, but unfortunately, but necessarily, the Most High wants us to go through it until, you know what I'm saying, He says that's it, and He delivers us, and just to give the magnitude of how He's to be praised, man.
And this is what the apostle said. In order for you to understand, in order for you to appreciate righteousness, you gotta go do the wickedness, man.
Right. All the high priest Yaquab.
To balance.
Coin that.
I want to make a correction from last week. We had mentioned that Amos and Hosea was over 100 years old, but what happened was we're looking at this chart, and it was my fuck up. The years overlap, so technically it's from 767 BC, approximation from King Uzziah. Pardon me, 782 BC.
Take your time.
782 BC, Jeroboam II to Hezekiah, which is
716.
716 BC, which will give us a year of 66 years.
6 years.
So Amos and Hosea was on the scene prophesying for 66 years. That's what you call diligence, man.
Diligence.
A lot of the prophets too. And now, okay, so we knocked out Jonah, we knocked out Amos and Hosea. We got a bit into Isaiah. Okay, so he's next up after Amos and Hosea. All right. Oh, what you at? Okay. And what year is that? So I can go back to that chart, brother.
Yes,
Salakia.
Isaiah and Uzziah is 767 BC to 740 BC.
All right. Now I think now we could go to Tiglath-Pileser, which brothers are way more
It's right here.
familiar with. You know what I'm saying?
745 BC to 727 BC.
All right. Now who? 745. You said 745 BC to
727 BC.
right.
Tiglath-Pileser.
And he's
That was
AKA.
Wait,
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
He was the usurper that started back the campaign with the Syrian Empire was conquering and being a bloody empire, because it says the Syrian Empire.
Yeah, he pretty much ended that whole peacefulness that Jonah had prophesied. Tiglath-Pileser started that shit back up.
He's AKA Pulu or Pul.
Tiglath-Pileser was the founder of the Neo-Syrian Empire, man. And then Neo-Syrian Empire was all about conquering and destroying, man.
Yeah, what Neo means new, correct?
New.
Yes.
New.
So he started pretty much this new age of this bloody, even more bloody Assyrian Empire. The Assyrians always been bloody. And we had mentioned that Menahem in 753 to 742, that particular king of the north of the kingdom, paid tribute to him, and that's actually in the Book of Kings, right?
Okay.
He was the first to put down.
Yeah, man.
Yes, Mina, brother. He reversed the peaceful history. All right, he put down those revolts that would be in civil wars, right? What else we got on him?
It says reverse the recent peaceful history of Assyria, put down revolts in the east, then turn to the regions west of the Euphrates, 743. Our Rezin,
Yes,
Rezin the second of the kingdom of Assyria, and Menahem
of Israel.
king of Israel,
was
submit.
Yeah, so Menahem, the king of Israel, paid tribute, and that that prophecy concerning Rezin, the elder Ariella had mentioned it last week. All right, that's actually what was in the book of Amos. So Tiglath-Pileser did that.
It says 743, finished campaign, finishing Atanalia. It says
Anatolia.
It says the king of Judah. It says Ahaz 735 to 715. He was ruling during the time of this. During the time of this king in the southern kingdom. Ahaz 735 to 715. He was a wicked king.
So Menahem and Ahaz was together?
Yeah.
All right.
You have the chart, brother.
I do. But I was wanted to go into the scripture.
It says, let me see. It says.
Oh, that scripture that he
No,
had
it
to pay
says
tribute?
Azariah. It says Azariah, king of Judah.
You want that scripture where he had to pay tribute?
Yeah, I got it. 2 Kings 15:20.
That's the one you wanted, or?
Yeah, I was just looking up. Hey, hold up. No, Pul, right? We talking about Tiglath-Pileser, right?
Yeah, Paul, yeah.
Yeah. Right here. 2 Kings 15 and 19.
And Paul, king of Assyria, came against the land, and Menahem gave Paul 1,000 talents of silver, that his hand might be with him to confirm the kingdom in his hand.
Get the next verse.
Verse 20. And Menahem exacted the money of Israel, even all the mighty men of wealth, of each man 50 shekels of silver, to give to the king of Assyria. So the king of Assyria turned back and stayed not there in the land.
There you go. So we got the king of Israel, Menahem.
Next one.
What's up?
The next one, because the next one has the dates. Like, roughly.
Yeah, the next one.
roughly.
You're right.
Kind of give this
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, so Menahem roughly 752 BC. All right.
During the time of Uzziah.
Yes.
Same.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah,
I like how it
yeah.
appears. It appears a bit
Yeah, it
better.
pairs it up good. Yeah.
That Uzziah was still around, king of Judah, while Israel was just going through these different particular kings.
What?
Slack And in Syria, we had Rezin and Pekah was eventually killed by Tiglath-Pileser III. That was around 734. You should have that in your notes too.
It's kind of exactly.
All right, so we could pretty much finish up with Tiglath-Pileser III, and we could more importantly get into his son, Shalmaneser V.
734, yeah. 734 to 78 comes right there.
Yeah.
You're right.
So we have Shalmaneser from what? We have Tiglath-Pileser III roughly from 745 to 727, and now we're going to go into Shalmaneser V, which was this is where key prophecy kicks into place, because this particular dude, he's the one that's going to start the besieging of the northern kingdom. Right? He's gonna be the one to start fulfilling Assyria. Was that Isaiah the 6th chapter, or Assyria in the rod of my anger?
It is.
It's Isaiah 6.
It's Shalmaneser the 5th, 727 to 722.
Yeah, remember 722 is a very important date, because this is where we left off at. We left off with Sargon II, and 722 is when the land of Israel, the kingdom of Israel, was officially destroyed. 722, roughly 721, depends on what you look up. Y'all know that scripture? Assyria?
Yeah, it's 10 and 5, Isaiah 10 and 5.
It's Isaiah 10 and 5? Or Assyria in the rod of my anger?
Yep.
Right.
It says, O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger.
Yes, and if we keep harping on, we have to know the scripture, both contextually speaking and
Scriptural speaking.
prophetically speaking. Context-wise is what we're dealing with now, because we know the prophecy that this is the so-called white man. Because it's the Most High's whipping stick. So okay, I was going you off. It's the Most High's whipping stick. So he's likened onto the Assyrians, but contextually speaking, right? The Most High's
history speaking.
Yes, secular history speaking, as the elder was saying, the Most High is going to use the Assyrians to fuck you Northerners up, man, because we brought it out last week that you made a league with the Assyrians, all right, to kill the king of Judah and put another king up in there, a heathen up in there, man. So the Most High is judging that for that heavily,
That's right. So this is the king of Assyria, Shalmaneser the 5th,
right?
727 BC to 722 BC.
And Salaki, you want to mention something else about
It
them?
says 724 BC, Hoshea rebelled against Shalmaneser the 5th.
Yes. And Hoshea, go ahead.
And it says, and then it says 722.
No, don't jump that fast.
But Shalmaneser,
Don't jump that fast.
yeah, because it says 724, 3 years after he came into power, Shalmaneser the 5th, King Hoshea rebelled against him.
Stop right there. The reason he rebelled against him, because we mentioned this last year. Hoshea, last week, Hoshea was paying the tribute fine with Tiglath-Pileser III. He was paying that shit, no, Gucci, whatever, I'll pay the tribute. But when his son came up,
Yeah, fuck this man.
Yeah.
Fuck this dude, man.
but guess who? The Egyptians.
Huh.
The Egyptians.
The
always-
Egyptians had a hand in that because each time a new king of Assyria came into power, the Egyptians tried to set up a rebellion,
They
man.
was always staging revolts and rebellions, and always trying to make leagues with these different border nations. One of them was Israel, and
Because they was far off, man.
Gone. And Hoshea low key was doing that shit. So word got back to Shalmaneser V. All right, and guess what?
So that's a kind of like, whoop their ass, man, to put them in captivity, man.
Let's go.
And that's hence in the Apocrypha, whereas during the time of Shalmaneser, man, they got,
Really, it started with Tiglath-Pileser, and we're gonna go into the account now in the scripture, 2 Kings, the 17th chapter.
This is 2 Kings 17 and 1. In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah.
Wait, stop right there. Stop right there, brother. You can go back to that chart?
Yeah.
Because
Timeline?
Yes,
Archer, perfect. Timeline.
timeline. All right, now, it says in the 12th year of Ahaz, and Ahaz is 722 BC, right?
732 BC.
732 BC.
732.
All right. So it says in the 12th year of him.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to go backwards. So it would be 2, 730 minus 10, 720. Go ahead.
It says, king of Judah began Hoshea, the son of Elah, to reign in Samaria over Israel
Yeah,
9 years.
and that links up perfectly. 732 BC. Okay?
Right.
So they were both ruling at 732 BC. Basically.
It says Hosea. It says.
Well, don't jump it, because I know I got the same notes you got. I wanted to make a point. Go ahead.
All right, verse 2. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord,
No, what I was saying.
but not
1 second.
What I was saying was King Hosea says 733 to 722 BC.
Yeah, but that's approximate, right?
Yeah,
Approximation.
it's approximate.
And it's not going to line up. It's not going to line up accurately because you know what I'm saying. We're dealing with the scriptures.
Go on. Go ahead, brother.
And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, but not as the kings of Israel that were before him. Against him came up Shalmaneser, king of Assyria.
So Shalmaneser came up against him, what? Roughly 727? No, actually, if it fell in 722, 3 years before that would be 725. Roughly approximation.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, roughly. Go ahead.
It says, and Hosea became his servant and gave him presents. And the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hosea, for he has sent messengers to So, king of Egypt.
Yeah, and we had brought that out last week. That we had brought out Saul, king of Egypt.
So,
yeah, so these Egyptians was constantly trying to state they didn't want to fucking pay tribute, man. You want your money, right? Go ahead.
And brought no present to the king of Assyria, as he had done year by year.
Yeah, so normally you would give money to my pops. What happened? Go ahead.
It says, therefore the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison. Then the king of Assyria came up throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years.
Now, Shalmaneser IV dies within the siege. Okay? He died, after 3 years he died. Now, certain people say he was assassinated, okay? And it will make sense, you know what I'm saying? Because we know that the Assyrians, they're kind of cutthroat.
Well, that's the Sargon 2 come in.
And this is where we get Sargon.
Verse 6. In the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria, king of Assyria took Samaria.
Stay right there, real quick. I want to make a point now. This is how we say we lining things up with the scriptures. And it lines up. 732 roughly, right? It's 732 BC, right? And the brother just read in the 9th year of...
It says, in the 9th year of Hoshea, the king of Assyria took Samaria.
So 732 minus 9 will roughly be what? 722. It'd be 722. And this...
King of Assyria took Samaria.
722 to 705 BC.
Yes. I mean, yeah, but roughly 723, 722. And that...
No, go ahead. Keep speaking.
What happened?
No.
722 BC is relatively known by the scholars because what? That is a year that Israel fell. And this guy, Sargon II, started that in 722. Now, we want to mention, now we're going to start going into the detail about Sargon.
Yeah. And now I can get the video.
Get the video. Right, that's beautiful. Go to Isaiah chapter 20.
I got an excerpt I'm saying I wrote down. I'm going to read it before you get the video. It says, King of Assyria, Sargon II, 722 to 705 BC, a usurper took the name of Sargon the Great, depopulation and repopulation of Samaria. That's been a time when...
But when you read it like that, you're jumping too much. I'm telling you, because look, let it marinate. Because what he does is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he says everything.
Yeah, that's what you're
saying. In other words, it's just going to do a line by line, instead of just telling them everything right away.
Okay.
So I get a precept before we go into this?
Come on, brother.
This is 2nd Ezra. I don't know if y'all brought this out last week. 2nd Ezra 13 and 40.
Read.
You know, in the history, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their land in the time of Hosea the king.
There you go.
Whom Shalmaneser, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
Boom. Look at that. So it links perfectly. That you can also get Tobit. Brother, get Tobit the first chapter.
Tobit.
See, it links something perfectly with the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? Not only secular history, but also proven in the scriptures, man. Which is deadly accurate, man.
Come on. Get that account of Tobit.
Verse 1 and 1. This is Tobit 1 and 1. The book of the words of Tobit, son of Tobiah, the son of Ananiah, the son of Anuel, the son of Gabael, of the seed of Azael, of the tribe of Naphtali, who in the time of Enemasar,
Enemasar is the Greek transliteration of Shalmaneser. Go ahead.
king of the Assyrians, was led captive out of this out of this, which is at the right hand,
Salakia.
which is at the right hand of that city, which is called properly Naphtali in Galilee above Asher.
Yeah, so he was. Tobit himself was one of the. We mentioned this last week that Tobit himself was a brother that was very knowledgeable of the courts and government, and you had different ranks of Israelites. All right, not every Israelite was just put to hard labor. All right, a lot of them were again builders and farmers, and they used them accordingly. And Tobit, he got wealth, man. All right, the scriptures tell you that he gave much alms, but guess what? When Sennacherib came into power,
Took him out of his
he took him out of his rulership, and that's when he got a base. Now we're in the reign of Sargon, so Tobit is alive right now. We're talking about Sargon. He's alive and he's doing all right.
We're leading it to Sargon.
Yeah, kind of. We're starting with him, but we're not gonna see Tobit fall out of grace until Sennacherib, which is after Sargon. But Isaiah 20, and then we're gonna play the video.
This is Isaiah chapter 20, verse 1.
Mhm.
In the year that Torthan came unto Ashdod.
Wait, read it again.
This is Isaiah chapter 20, verse 1. In the year that Torthan came
There's no further, brother.
Torthan came unto Ashdod. When Sargon, the king of Assyria, sent him and fought against Ashdod and took it, at the same time spake the Lord Yahweh by Isaiah the son of Amos.
Now, this is Isaiah chapter 20, and we know the scripture, we know this particular chapter because what? We know this chapter because Isaiah was famously walked around and prophesied 3 years butt-ass naked, right? But why did he do that? He did that because the Egyptians, those same Egyptians that we're talking about, the revolts were coming against Sargon. They were coming against Sargon II, man. All right? And he said this, and they tried to make a league with Hezekiah. But Isaiah said, listen, don't have no parts with that shit, man. The same way I'm going to be walking around butt-ass niggas, the same way them Egyptians and Ethiopians.
It's going to be carried away captive.
You're going to be captive
and put to shame.
Con, and sure enough, Sargon did that. Sargon put boots to asses.
Boots to asses and both of their shoes with Sargon, both his shoes was shitty. He kicked ass because Sargon too kicked ass from city to city. Man.
Yes. And Sargon II, when he was mentioned in the scriptures, in the secular history, they said that this guy wasn't real. The Bible is a myth.
That's
right?
bullshit.
Now, the reason they said that up until what 18? Well, we're gonna bring it on the video. You can bring it up.
Yeah, Tartan. Just gonna read about him. Tartan was the commander-in-chief of the Assyrian army. All right, in the Bible, the Assyrian king sends a Tartan with two other officials to deliver a threatening message to Jerusalem. And Sargon II, the king of Assyria, sends the Tartan who takes Ashdod. Okay.
Yeah, so they pretty much did that. They murked the fuck out of Ashdod. Now the brother's gonna play a video from an excerpt, right? That most of these secular people thought that the Bible wasn't real. There was no proof of Sargon because the Assyrian kings ruled where?
From the beginning?
They ruled in Nineveh. Now that particular part is good. Yeah. Most Assyrian kings, they ruled from Nineveh, which Nineveh was the capital of Assyria, right? And they put all types of monuments and everything about themselves. But where was the monuments of Sargon? Bring it out, brother.
Oh,
Turn this thing.
For himself. His successor returned rule back to Nineveh, and that city was abandoned about a century later.
Start when I start again, bro.
Oh shit! Hold up.
I'm slacking, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, hold up.
I'm sorry.
No, you can just mute it. There's a mute button.
Yeah.
Oh, you can stop it. Yeah,
Yeah,
just stop it. We'll still see the comments.
Come on.
Probably have to bump jump it back a few. Probably like.
Wow. 144.
Yes. Hey, 144.
And I'm sure that critique stung pretty bad until 1842 when excavations in Khorsabad, Iraq uncovered the ancient city of Ur-Sharukin.
Because he actually mentions that.
Exception. Sargon II. In Isaiah chapter 20 we see, in the year that the supreme commander sent by Sargon, king of Assyria, came to Ashdod and attacked it and captured it. Not only did archaeologists not have an...
Alright, note here, Ashdod is talking about Israel. Because when you go into the scriptures, it's translated in the Maccabees as being Azotus. And Azotus is translated to be so-called Tel Aviv, which we know that's a seaport city in Israel, the land of Israel. So when it says Ashdod, is Israel. The land of Israel. Go ahead, Al.
This is 2 Kings 18 and 17. And the king of Assyria sent Tartan and Rabasaris and Rabshakeh from Lachish to King Hezekiah with a great host against Jerusalem.
Damn, that's beautiful.
And they went up and came to Jerusalem. And when they were come up, they came and stood by the conduit of the upper pool.
Right, so the secular history is not saying Jerusalem, it's saying Ashdod, which is the same thing. Go ahead.
Which is in the highway of the fuller's field.
There you go.
Excellent.
The stuff belonging to Sargon, there was even a well-known list of Assyrian kings that omitted his name. And for a long time, skeptics loved to point out that the Bible was a fable, it's made up, it's mythological, and that proof lay in the fact that it made claim to a non-existent Sargon of Assyria. And I'm sure that critique stung pretty bad until 1842, when excavations in Khorsabad, Iraq, uncovered the ancient city of Dur-Sharukin. In this city, a multitude of artifacts and items belonging to Sargon were found. Sargon ruled from 722 to 705 BC. He ordered the construction of a brand new palace city for himself. His successor returned rule back to Nineveh, and that city was abandoned about a century later. And this would explain why Nineveh had no monuments to Sargon II. King Sargon's achievements and titles are inscribed in a detailed cuneiform inscription that was between the legs of a large winged bull that was found in Dur-Sharukin. The inscription also described Sargon's capture of Samaria and the destruction of Ashdod. The Sargon Prism states, "The inhabitants of Samaria who agreed with a king hostile to me not to endure servitude and not to bring tribute to Ashur did battle. With the power of the great gods, my lords, against them I fought. 27,280 people, together with their chariots and the gods in which they trusted as spoil, I counted. With 200 chariots from my royal force, from them I formed a unit. The rest of them I settled in the midst of Assyria. I repopulated Samaria more than before. People from countries conquered by my hands, I brought in it. My commissioner I appointed as governor over them. I counted them as Assyrians." We also see confirmation of the story found in 2 Kings chapter 17. And the king of Assyria brought people from Babylon, Cutha, Ava, Hamath, and Sepharvaim, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the people of Israel. And they took possession of Samaria and lived in its cities. The attacks on the northern tribes of Israel began under Tiglath-Pileser, and the siege of Samaria began with Shalmaneser.
We can stop right there. Now, it says that he, read the account?
This is 2 Kings 17 and 24. And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Cutha, and from Ava, and from Hamath.
Now, why does he say from Babylon? You know who we want, brother? Marduk. Marduk. Right there. Now it says men from Babylon. Right now, when Sargon was in his reign, he had problems that he was facing on the east and problems on the west. The people that was giving problems on the east was Marduk Baladan II, right? Which
Elam,
yeah, he made a league with the Elamites, and eventually he did take the land of Babylon. He ruled 10 years, but guess what? Eventually Sargon is going to beat his ass.
Yes, sir. This is Merodach Baladan II, okay? Baladan II, Babylonian Marduk Apal Adina Lee. Marduk has given me an heir. King of Babylonia, 721-710. As for 9 months in 703, who maintained Babylonian independence in the face of Assyrian military supremacy for more than a decade.
And we have to point out that this guy was a native Chaldean. He wasn't an Assyrian.
Right? It says
knock out that part about the...
Commencing in 728, the king of Assyria also officially held the title of King of Babylon. During that time, Merodach Baladan, a member of the Yakin tribe, was a district ruler in Chaldea. During the unrest surrounding the accession of Sargon II of Assyria in 722, so they were contemporaries. Merodach Baladan entered Babylon and claimed the Babylonian throne, which had belonged to his forebearer Iraba Marduk. An attack by the Elamites 2 years later so weakened the Assyrians, though both sides claimed victory, that as king of Babylonia, Merodach-Baladan remained unmolested by Assyria for the next 10 years.
Can you jump to the next paragraph? Not Sargon's, but it says according to
According
the
to
Syrian.
Syrian accounts. According to Assyrian accounts, Sargon marched south against Babylon in 710. After defeating the Elamites and Merodach-Baladan's other allies, he turned toward Babylon. Merodach-Baladan fled, and leading the citizens of Babylon brought Sargon unopposed into the city, where he officially became king of Babylon.
Exactly. So this links perfectly with the accounts of the scriptures. All right.
Right.
These same Babylonians that he conquered around that particular time was the same Babylon that King Sargon brought into the land of Samaria. Now, Marduk is actually a real person too, because again, we're gonna link it up with scriptures. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 39:1. At that time, Merodach-Baladan, the son of Baladan, king of Babylon,
Look at that.
sent letters and a present to Hezekiah.
Now, Hezekiah became ill. When you read the 38th chapter of Isaiah, he became ill to the point that he thought he was going to die. But Isaiah,
39th chapter, I think it is.
no, the 38th chapter.
The
The
38th chapter.
39 is what we're reading now.
Yeah, then that's when Isaiah, that's when I think I forgot what prophet it was at that time.
It's Isaiah.
Isaiah came to him and told him,
Yeah,
he
this
was
is
like, yo,
very-
listen, what did you show him? And because the ambassadors from Babylon came to Isaiah to congratulate him from his health and help him and all that, you know what I'm saying? Well, Hezekiah, and then Isaiah came to him after that, after the ambassadors of Babylon left, and asked him, what did you show these guys, man? And Hezekiah said, all the kingdom.
Yeah, he showed him all the treasures, everything that Israel had. And you know what? In doing so, Isaiah foretold a future prophecy.
They came to spy out the land, man.
Yeah, he thought that they came for Hezekiah thought that these
I got it.
fucking heathens came for their good. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, I got the account that you're speaking of. 2 Kings chapter 20, verse 11. And I'll read down. It says, and Isaiah the prophet cried unto the Lord, and he brought the shadow 10 degrees backward, by which it had gone down in the dial of Ahaz. At that time, Merodach-Baladan,
Same Babylonian king we just read about.
the son of Baladan, king of Babylon, sent letters and a present unto Hezekiah, where he had heard that Hezekiah had been sick. And Hezekiah hearkened unto them and showed them all the house of his precious things, the silver and the gold and the spices and the precious ointment, and all the house of his armor, and all that was found in his treasures. There was nothing in his house, nor in all his dominion, that Hezekiah showed them not.
You know what? You see Hezekiah fucked up in doing so. And in that particular incident that he did,
2 Kings 20.
Isaiah prophesied something. He said them same Babylonians that you show all this thing, they're gonna come take Jerusalem.
They're going to take a kingdom from you, man.
Yo, but bro, Isaiah prophesied this, what? 722?
I got you.
705, I think it was.
This is Hezekiah, right?
Hezekiah.
7:16.
Yeah. So the Assyrians don't fall until 612. All right, so close to almost 100 years. Nobody saw the Babylonians coming up on top, man. But Isaiah, to the prophet, being a prophet of the Lord, said them Babylonians are gonna come up and they're gonna take all this from you. That's in Isaiah the 39th chapter.
But it wasn't the time of Hezekiah.
No, that didn't happen at the time of Hezekiah. Okay, now we knocked out, and who was on the scene during the time of Hezekiah? We knocked out Micah. We didn't mention Micah, but Micah was during the reign of King Jotham. We mentioned that last year, up until Hezekiah. So what does that mean? That means Amos, Isaiah, Hosea, Isaiah. They were all contemporaries. Okay,
But it's saying,
Isaiah. They were all contemporary.
but now it's saying, I'm saying Hezekiah ruled from 715 BC to 686 BC.
Right.
That's what Hezekiah ruled. And the Babylonians came into power roughly around 7, I think it was 26 BC or something like that.
You talking about the Babylonians?
Yeah, the
The Babylonian Empire?
Yeah.
That's not until that's way ahead, brother. That's like 606 BC. So we
606 BC, yeah, that's what I'm
way
saying,
ahead.
yeah, come. It says, Jerusalem 17 restores proper worship after year.
All right, come.
It says, after Hezekiah, Hezekiah was ruling at that time. It's going into the king of Egypt, Shabaka.
Okay, stop right there. Though, so we mentioned that the particular kings tried to make a league with Hezekiah, and the prophet Isaiah told him, don't have any leagues with them. And it went well with him, as his brother liked to say, it went well with Hezekiah, right? But eventually, Hezekiah will stage a revolt against Sargon II, okay? And that's when he made a famous song called Hezekiah's Tunnel, which is still stands to this day in the land of Jerusalem. People still visit it to this day.
This is Ashtar fell to 713. Ashtar fell to Sargon II. Isaiah 20:1.
Yep, we had mentioned that part. That's right.
And it says 710. Egypt fell to Sargon II. 710. Hezekiah builds a tunnel. 705. Sargon dies of wounds in battle. King of Assyria, Sennacherib, 705.
That's right here.
Killed.
Yeah, brother, you were going too fast, brother.
We trying to read through the whole thing for, brother.
I'm just, kind of excited, bro.
We're talking about Sargon, right?
Yeah, kind of.
All right, that's what we're talking about.
So, have we made a particular notes upon Sargon that, we pretty much hit every point on the terms of prophets, and we could go back to the list of Assyrian kings.
Yes, sir.
And so we're good. We're good.
Okay, all right.
And this guy Sargon, we don't necessarily know his actual name. That was just a title that he took from the original Sargon, which was years later.
Sargon I, back in the beginning
that's
the beginning of the Assyrian Empire.
That's way back. Yeah, he took the title of Sargon and called himself Sargon the Great, aka Sargon II. Now, after his particular death,
Sennacherib, his son.
Now we have what this brother just mentioned.
It says
Sennacherib, and now is where Hezekiah states his revolt, and now we're gonna have that famous account of these fucking Assyrians coming to the wall and talking shit.
But it's saying right here, it says.
All right, slow down when you read it, brother.
It says
jumping.
710. Hezekiah builds a tunnel. 705. Sargon II dies of wounds in battle.
Correct.
Now is a new king that's coming up in to
Does it say what battle that this guy Sargon died in? Can we get that information real quick? Just so we can get that information.
You have him over there.
Yeah,
Sargon II.
No, that was Sennacherib.
No, you got Sargon II. Maybe
now I do.
Maybe if you click death, you see right there, number 4.
Yeah. Let me see what's
Click
up with
death
that.
and
Let me
see
see what's up with that. All right. You can read it, Shimon, if you can see it.
Come on. This is from Wikipedia. This is Sargon II, and this is the section death. In 705 BC, Sargon was killed while leading a campaign to Tabal, which had rebelled against Assyrian rule 7 years prior. His body was never recovered. Sargon was succeeded by Sennacherib. Okay, so again, during the Assyrian Empire, you have nothing but revolts, man. Revolts after revolts. And another thing too about the thing with Hezekiah was, it wasn't just the Egyptians, it was a shit ton of people that wanted to come against Sargon. To the point that they said, if we stage all these revolts, then this guy gotta fall. But Isaiah said, listen, don't make no fucking leagues with them guys, man. And sure enough, the prophet Isaiah was right, man. And it went well with Hezekiah. He just continued paying that heavy tribute.
And then this is
now we're in the reign of
now we're in the reign of his son, Sennacherib. Is this king of Assyria, Sennacherib, 705 BC to 681 BC, son of Sargon II, most famous for his conflicts with Hezekiah, king of Judah. 705, Merodach-Baladan retakes Babylon. 705, Hezekiah revolt against Assyrian control. Egypt revolts at the same time, 705 to 704. Hezekiah becomes gravely ill and recovers. Isaiah 38, the 38th chapter.
All right,
Second
so
Kings.
Get that.
Second Kings.
I got it.
Read.
Isaiah 38:1. In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death, and Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos, came unto him, and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, set thine house in order, for thou shalt die and not live. Then Hezekiah turned his face toward the wall and prayed unto the Lord.
He was crying.
Go ahead.
And said, Remember now, O Lord, I beseech thee, how I have walked before thee in truth and with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight. And Hezekiah wept sore. Then came the word of the Lord to Isaiah, saying, Go and say to Hezekiah, Thus saith the Lord, the Most High of David, thy father, I have heard thy prayer, I have seen thy tears. Behold, I will add unto the days 15 years.
Look at that. So that links up perfectly with 1 Samuel 2:6.
Lord killing for making life.
The Most High kills and make it life. Because he had 15 years onto this man's life. But we were speaking about this off camera. How would you feel knowing you got 15 years to live? It's kind of, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, well, you know, but it's like that. But it says, right, you got more?
I mean, if you want me to keep going, keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
And I will deliver thee and this city out of the land of the king of Assyria.
Yeah, and that particular king of Assyria was who?
Sennacherib.
Sennacherib.
But it says, I'm gonna go into the wars of Sennacherib. It says,
What?
it says,
AKA the Syrian war. Not to be confused.
704. Yeah, bro.
This is going to be called the Syrian war, as the elder has in his note. But this is not to be confused. When you look this up, you're going to find different Syrian wars.
Yeah.
This is not talking about the Ptolemies versus the Seleucids.
No, that's way after,
That's
man.
another time period.
That's centuries after. It says, Egypt revolts at the same time as 705. 704, Hezekiah becomes gravely ill and recovers. Isaiah 38 chapter, 2 Kings. It says 705, well, 703. It says, the king congratulations from Merodach, Baldin, Isaiah 39, 702, Sennacherib defeats Merodach, Baldin, 701, Sennacherib's Syrian war, Sennacherib's take Phoenicia, Syria, and lays siege to Lachish.
Lachish, yeah.
Lachish force, Sennacherib move his forces to Lachish. Sennacherib's hopes he can drive and west between Jehoiada and Egypt. Hezekiah pays tribute to buy peace.
Yeah, so Hezekiah the whole time is paying tribute to Sennacherib, right? But here's the shit though, right? Sennacherib is coming to conquer Jerusalem, right? And Hezekiah said, all right, listen, man, I'm going to fall back. I'll give you your tribute. You know what this nigga Sennacherib said? Fuck that. I still want. He took the tribute, of course. I said, listen, I'm still coming to destroy your ass. Still coming to seize Jerusalem, man.
Take this shit and let's fuck you.
And we gotta get the account of the Book of Kings, man. I just gotta.
It was Kings.
2 Kings 20.
2 Kings.
What about what?
Where
he sent the guy.
And they talking shit on the walls.
Okay, no, I didn't get that one. Yeah,
It was
get that.
2
Get
Kings.
that. Get that.
It was 2 Kings.
Sennacherib. When you say you supposed to get his name again?
Sennacherib.
It's SENNACHERIB.
Sennacherib.
I don't got that.
I got it right here. Let me see.
That's in the
2 Kings
what Second Kings version you have?
20. But it says it on the top, but I don't know what
Spell that again, huh?
Second Kings.
SENNACHERIB.
Sennacherib.
Yeah.
SNN.
Yeah, brother. GMS prisoner of the Most High put a good one. Isaiah 37 and 37. So Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. And it came to pass, as he was worshiping in the house of Nisroch, his god, that Adremelech and Shazer, his sons, smote him with the sword, and they escaped. That's how he died.
Yeah, but that's 15 years later. That didn't happen right away, man.
Yeah, 15 to 20 years later.
That's happened. That's like going 15 years down the line, man.
Follow the storyline, brother. Don't jump the gun.
What happened was the reason why they killed because he sacked Babylon, which was a holy and sacred land.
Mm-hmm. Let's build up to why that happened.
Come.
Build up to why that happened. All right, so 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 13.
This is 2 King 18 and 13. Now in the 14th year of the king Hezekiah did Sennacherib, king of Assyria, come up against all the fenced cities of Judah and took them.
Mm-hmm.
And Hezekiah, king of Judah, sent to the king of Assyria to Lachish, saying, I have offended, return from me. That which thou puttest on me will I bear. And the king of Assyria appointed unto Hezekiah, king of Judah, 300 talents of silver and 30 talents of gold.
Now we just mentioned that he paid the punk dude. Now we always say go back to the scriptures because the Assyrian records, the verse that the brother's about to go into, what happened to them with the angels, they admit that. They say that Hezekiah gave me the money and that was it. But we know that the Lord, fucked their ass up with an angel.
Because, guess what? And then in the Syrian Empire, they said that mice, it was a bunch of...
Egyptians said that.
Yeah, the Egyptians said that it was a bunch of hearsay and a bunch of fuckery, but we know in the biblical text, it shows you that how the Most High sent an angel to smote 185,000 men of the Syrian Empire, man. And they fled, man. And right after that, Sennacherib fled to his land, and 15 years later, his sons put him to death because of certain things that he did. But I'm not going to jump the gun. But that's telling you that in secular history, it's not going to say that an angel of the Lord, because Esau does not believe in the Most High. So Esau believe in physical accounts. He's not going to say that an angel of the Lord smote 185,000 Hamites, well, not Hamites, Assyrians, and put the rest of them to flight, man. They ain't going to say that. Their history's going to say their history, but we're going on biblical accounts, man. Even though you can link up biblical accounts with secular history, but sometimes secular history goes off, man.
Yeah, they was going off the whole time about Sargon II. They didn't think he was real, and the Bible had him beat for beat right there.
Exactly.
So what it says?
Now what we trying to find is
military campaigns, man. No. Conquest of Israel.
Hey, what are we trying to find though? But we did that's Sargon.
That's Sargon. We're on Sennacherib.
We're on Sennacherib.
You don't have a neck.
Yeah, I got him right here. Okay. Actually, Sennacherib is right here.
Right now, you should just probably scroll down to him versus Hezekiah.
Alright.
It says in the Book of Kings they mention him up top. Maybe you want to just read the first.
Oh, right here. Military campaigns in Mesopotamia, Syria, Israel, and Judah.
Sennacherib's first campaign
turned from Babylon to the western part of the empire, where Hezekiah of Judah, incited by Egypt, and Marduk, Apollodonia had pronounced the Syrian allegiance.
We need that account in the Book of Kings, because that the Book of Kings with the because that's what set the stone.
Second Kings.
2 Kings 20. Read it again.
2 Kings 20. It says right at 703.
2 Kings 20. This is when they started talking shit against Israel.
Oh no, Salaki. I was reading the one when Hezekiah got sick.
No, Sennacherib's general.
Oh, Sennacherib's
general was talking shit.
His name was something. His name was
They was pretty much talking shit, and they said, "Speak to us in the Syriac tongue." Is it Syriac?
Yeah, Syria.
In the Syrian tongue,
Syria,
and not in the Hebrew tongue, because we understand the Hebrew tongue, and then they want the Hebrews to get all afraid and shit, and be all, scared.
I can't find it. Is it Syriac or Syrian?
It's a Syrian tongue.
Syriac.
How you spell that, brother? Because that's what I need.
SYRIAC.
Yeah, so the Bible, the scriptures probably have it as Syrian tongue, maybe.
All right. So if it's not that, I'll check it out.
Let me see if I can find that, because we need that account, because it's pivotal to
I forgot what scripture that is.
Okay, Second Kings. You at 18, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Jump down, brother. Okay. Jump down to
Say Syriac or what? What does it say?
It says Syrian.
Syrian.
The Syrian tongue, man.
Salakia.
It doesn't say Syriac. It's a Syrian tongue.
Salakia.
So now
my fault.
Khan. So it's all good, Brody. Jump down to verse
16, 17,
20?
20.
Well, you said 16.
2 Kings 20.
Yeah.
But you can go to 16, man, 17, man, to get that full account, man.
Khan. Okay. Yeah, 2 Kings, well, that was just said, 18 and 17.
This is back in 2 Kings 18 and 17. Mm-hmm. And the king of Assyria sent Tartan.
And that Tartan, he was just mentioned in the book of Isaiah chapter 20. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So we know that Tartan is a general in Sennacherib's army.
And there's also speaking of somebody in 2 Kings, man.
Sargon's
army.
Yeah, but still, if you're a general to the father, you could be a general to the son.
So that's Sennacherib. It went down from Sargon to Sennacherib. Because Sennacherib is Sargon's the second son. So it went down.
And the king of Assyria sent Tartan and Rabsaris and Rabshakeh and Lachish, and from Lachish to King Hezekiah with a great host against Jerusalem.
Yeah, now I think they said that, 185,000.
185,000 men came up against Hezekiah, king of Judah.
Not to mention the war horses, and because the Assyrians were very skilled with the horses, where most people would need an archer and the one pulling the You need an archer, one to shoot the bow, and one pulling the
Nah,
chariot.
not them.
They was doing both, bro.
You had the guy riding the chariot, and he had an archer in his. He had to use the archer, man.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one man riding the thing. He was the archer, so that made them even more powerful.
Even more powerful. And they'll always do that. Whenever they took your land, they make sure to not kill your horses. They was obsessed with them horses, boy.
They didn't kill the horse; they just killed the rider,
Yeah.
and they take the weapon. That's why. That's what Sennacherib said. I will give you 2,000 horses if you could put a man upon them.
Yeah, them motherfuckers
Mocking
love war,
them.
man.
Mocking Hezekiah, man.
They love killing.
He
Man.
was like, listen, man. He said, listen. If you, he said, yo, I will give you 2,000 horses, man, if you could put rides upon them, man. Mocking them, man. I'm saying, you know, mocking Hezekiah. Saying, listen, man. You know, so we gonna put you to fight, man. We gonna make you we gonna make you drink your own piss and eat your own dung, man.
Oh yeah, brother. Well, the brothers are gonna give that account. That account that this brother just mentioned is in the Assyrian. That's not in the scripture. The scriptures have them talking shit, but in the Assyrian records, they straight up said that they'll make people do that. Eat their own shit and drink their own piss, man. They were fucked up people. Go ahead.
What? They was worse than the Greeks, I think, man.
Well, bloody city, man. Go ahead, brother.
And they went up and came to Jerusalem. And when they were come up, they came and stood by the conduit of the upper pool, which is in the highway of the fuller's field.
You just read that earlier. Go ahead.
And when they had called to the king, there came out of the Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, which was over the household of Shebna, the scribe, and Joah, the son of Shaph, the recorder, and Rabshakeh, said unto them, Speak ye now to Hezekiah, thus saith the great king, the king of Assyria. What confidence is this wherein thou trustest?
Yeah, because remember, the reason they said this is because these guys are going around laying siege to all these different nations and killing them. And them other nation had gods. So they thought it was no different with Israel.
18.
Isaiah 37 to 18.
No,
It's also recorded in Isaiah 37 to 38, the chapter, you know what I'm saying?
That's what this brother was reading earlier. From the other brother that posted.
Continue reading, bro.
This is back in 2 King 18 and 20. Thou sayest, but they are but vain words. I have counsel and strength for the war. Now on whom dost thou trust, thou that rebellest against me? Now behold, thou trustest upon the staff of this bruised reed, even upon Egypt, on which if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt unto all that trust on him.
Because remember, Hezekiah, the Egyptians wanted to make illegal Hezekiah. So this guy is saying, listen, pretty much what he just said in that particular verse, man. What the fuck? You gonna lean on this Egyptian? We murk them niggas too.
We gonna whip their ass too. Let me go whip your ass.
Go ahead.
That's what he was saying.
But if ye say unto me, we trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, our power, is not that he whose high places and whose altars Hezekiah hath taken away, and had said to Judah and Jerusalem, ye shall worship before this altar in Jerusalem.
Yeah, because Hezekiah was known for what? He was known for stripping Judah and Israel of them goddamn idols, man.
That's right.
All right, he was bringing back people to the Lord.
Well,
it was a righteous thing he was doing, but this Assyrian king was trying to make it look like he was wicked what he was doing.
But let me just say this. What Sennacherib didn't understand was the Most High is considered the Lord of hosts. The Most High musters up the battle. So the Most High, he's the King of kings and the Lord of lords. He's the Lord of hosts. So he was built. He had Sennacherib conquering all these other nations, man. But being that, and he was using Sennacherib as a whooping stick to put all these other nations in line because they was going off, man, worshiping idols and doing all kind of wickedness. But Hezekiah was right with the Most High.
That's the difference.
You see what I'm saying? So that's when Sennacherib came up against Hezekiah. The Most High sent an angel to smite his fucking his whole army, man. That's the difference, man. See, what people didn't know, what Sennacherib didn't know, that the Most High musters up the battle. The Most High is the Lord of hosts, man. He thought he was doing it on his own account. Because he was mighty indeed. Because he didn't believe in the Most High. He believed in
He's a
the
heathen. He's a heathen.
He worshiped his
He's
idols.
a damn heathen.
But he didn't know that the
Maybe they worship Ishtar.
Yeah, Ishtar, I'm saying, but he didn't know that. He thought Ishtar was driving him to do what he was doing.
Well, the scripture said he worshipped in the temple in Nisroch, which is an eagle god.
Yeah, man.
They look like the Seahawks logo.
Wow.
Come,
Yeah.
man. But guess what?
He all kind of idols.
He didn't know that. Sennacherib himself didn't know that the Most High was using him as a whooping stick for these other nations, man. But when even Israel, man, the northern kingdom, the Most High had him snatch them right up and take them out of their land,
Yeah,
man.
because they wasn't doing right.
Kingdom divided amongst itself should not stand, man.
So guess what? He came up against Hezekiah that was right with the Most High. And the Most High Yahweh, which is the Lord of hosts, which is the Lord of armies, did Sennacherib dirty. Sure. Send him away with his tail tucked between his legs.
Well, read it, brother. Read it.
Read it, bro.
Read.
Back in 2 Kings 18 and 23, now therefore I pray thee, give pledges to my lord, the king of Assyria, and I will deliver thee 2,000 horses, if thou be able on thy part to set riders upon them.
That's what I said, because they was mocking him, man. Hey, man, you can't, man, listen, your men is bitches, man.
You don't stand a chance. Nigga.
You don't stand a
chance.
The camp of Israel is hold out. I'm gonna give you 2,000 horses, man. Let me see if you can put riders upon them niggas. Them niggas is bitched out, man. They ain't gonna do shit. They scared.
Yeah.
Continue.
How then wilt thou turn away the face of one captain of the least of my master's servants, and put thy trust on Egypt for chariots and for horsemen?
Continue. But Hezekiah didn't do that. He didn't trust the Egyptians. He stayed. He was doing this revolt, and when he didn't make any league with anybody, he just trusted in the Heavenly Father. Now he did. He built that tunnel, yes, just in case. Because when you see something, when you siege a city, what you need fresh water. So that's why he made that famous tunnel. But he still trusted in the Most High, man.
And you know what? Before you go on, Egypt. That's why they keep on bringing up Egypt, because Egypt was the sole country that kept on. That region in that land, they kept on revolting against the kings of Assyria, man, because they was way deep in the south, man. So it was hard for the Assyrians to come up against them. So what they would do is they would stay in revolts, man, and get other nations that's around them to go with them. I'm saying make a league with them so they can go up against the Syrian Empire, man. But guess what? They kept on getting squashed. Time after time again, they kept on getting put to flight. But Egypt, each time a new ruler came up into power, they would test that new ruler by staging a revolt, man, and gassing other kings to go along with them. But the other kings would get their ass handed to them, and the other king in Egypt would be laying back like, oh shit, man, listen, man. They kept doing that, man. They kept staging revolts, man.
They got their ass beat too.
Yeah, they got their ass beat too. Yeah.
Back in 2 Kings 18 and 25, am I now come up without the Lord against this place to destroy it? The Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai said to me, go up against this land and destroy it. Then said,
I must say this, dealing with the Assyrian Empire, according to the prophecy, all right, of the scriptures, in particular in the book of Daniel, it speaks of a lion that had eagle's wings. You look at the emblem of Assyria, is a emblem of wings.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that's talking about. All right, the wings on the lion is representing of Assyria.
And the lion represents the
Babylonians. So the wings on the lion that the scriptures speak of in the book of Daniel is talking about the Assyrian Empire. All right?
That has been absorbed by the Babylonians.
Yeah, that was absorbed by the Babylonian Empire. Exactly.
We know Babylonian.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. All
right, so the Most High, I said that to say this, the Most High set them up to have the power at this particular time in ancient secular history.
Also, let me say this right here.
Yeah.
After when the Babylonians took rule, they only ruled for 70 years. So that showed that the Most High was through with the Assyrians and the Babylonians. And the Babylonians also were Syrians.
No,
certain of them.
Nebuchadnezzar was a Syrian.
Certain of them, yeah.
So
right,
after 70 years of rulership from the Babylonians, the Persians took over. The Medo-Persians took over, man. So that showed you the Most High. That was at the end of the Hamites' rulership, man, or the
Them heathens ruled.
The heathen ruled the shit, you know what I'm saying? From one heathen to the next heathen. You know? Which was nothing but Persians, man.
Yeah.
Modern day, as you call them, modern day Iranians.
Yep.
Elam, if you will.
Alright.
Yeah, bro.
Back in 2 Kings 18 and 26, then said Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah, and Shebna, and Joah unto Rabshakeh, speak, I pray thee, to thy servants in the Syrian language, for we understand it, and talk not with us in the Jews' language, in the ears of the people that are on the wall.
Yeah, so it was pretty much talking shit, like some of the stuff that the elder was going into, some of the things they were saying, man. Jump down to verse 29.
This is verse 29. Thus saith the king, let not Hezekiah deceive you, for he shall not be able to deliver you out of his hand.
Yeah, so surely I'm gonna fuck you motherfuckers up, right? Go ahead.
Neither let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai,
Demons. Damn demons. Good.
saying the Lord will surely deliver us, and this city shall not be delivered into the hand of the king of Assyria.
Yeah, so the point is pretty much being made. This guy goes on to talk shit for the whole entire chapter. For the sake of time, we're gonna speed it up a little bit.
He was blaspheming the name of the Most High, and he was blaspheming. He was talking shit to Hezekiah and blaspheming the name of the Most High, Yahweh Yahushua.
Yeah.
And Hezekiah prayed to the Most High because he was scared.
Yeah.
And so what he did was the Most High, when at that night, or whatever the Most High did it, he had an angel. He sent the angel of the Lord to smoke 185,000 men of the Sennacherib's army and put Sennacherib to flight. Because when Sennacherib woke the next day, his men were slain, man, because they fell asleep besieging Jerusalem. And when they woke up the next day, the angel of the Lord smote all those motherfuckers, man. So Sennacherib woke up like, oh shit, what the fuck? Get up! Yo! Oh shit! Gonyo! He started running, man. Let me say, because he's like, oh shit, the motherfuckers is dead, man.
And in his account, he said that when he went there, Hezekiah just paid tribute and that was it. But no, we know that the heathens, they don't mention their losses. Man. But the children of Israel do mention their losses and their victories. So we know the Bible is 100% accurate that the angels slew 185,000 of Sennacherib's men.
But Hezekiah paid that tribute and Sennacherib.
Well, he paid the tribute.
Trust him, man.
Brother, yeah, he paid the tribute before he got slain by the 185,000 Syrians. The Syrians like to say that he paid the tribute after. You know what I'm saying? It happened before, according to the scriptures.
Had Sennacherib would have took that tribute, and went back to his land, it would have spared his men. But being that he tried to cross Hezekiah, the Most High saw that, and Hezekiah prayed to the Most High for deliverance and for protection against Sennacherib. Because the Syrian army was vast, man. They was brutal, man. They was brutal in all their tactics. And when they slay you and they take over your land, they slaying everybody, man. They taking and they ain't putting you as a puppet king. They taking you down, man.
Come on, let's go next to the next Assyrian king.
The next Syrian king was
what happened? Not on the feed, on the stand. Echo, not on the feed. What time was that, brother? What time you reading that?
10:32.
Salaki, brother, I don't understand what he's saying. Echo, not on the feed.
Yeah, that's all. Good.
Yeah, you see us move, right?
Yeah.
All right, so now we have to Sheridan, right?
I'm just gonna recap Sennacherib, and then I'm gonna go to Sheridan. It's Sheridan. It says, Second King. It says 700 final attack on Merodach Baladan, which was the king of Babylon. Merodach defeated 694 BC, approximately 694 BC. Humiliating defeat in the southern Mesopotamia. 689, Sennacherib destroys Babylon. That's when Sennacherib goes into Babylon and sacked Babylon, and Babylon was considered a holy city unto the Assyrians, man, and to the rest of them Hamites. So they looked at Babylon as being that holy city that was sacked by Sennacherib, and they hated Sennacherib for that.
Yeah, real quick. The equivalent of that would be like America sending a missile on Rome there'll be constant revolts because the Vatican is looked at as a holy city. Now this guy Sennacherib was pretty much taking out his anger on what happened, man.
So now check out the time frame. 689 BC, Sennacherib destroys Babylon. 681 BC, Sennacherib is assassinated by his two sons.
And the brother had brought that precept out on the comic board. So even though the scriptures say it right after the next, like he'll do that. It'll say one verse, the next verse, and jump like 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So Sennacherib, while he was praying to his God, he got slain by his two sons. But the scriptures don't mention the fact that he went into Babylon and attacked Babylon, because remember, the king of Babylon is coming against the Assyrians, right? But instead of just killing the king of Babylon, this guy he fucking slays Babylon, bro. And as the elder was mentioning, Babylon was always looked at as a holy city. He should just quell the revolt and kill the dude. But that pissed everybody off, man.
So now,
and then he had 3 sons, and the 2 oldest ones, right?
The 2 oldest ones slew him and fled. Then there was a civil war between the 2 sons who was going to rule, man.
They wanted to kill those 2 sons, man.
So now what happened was, it was a civil war between the 2 sons of who was going to rule. Look, the time is going out, bro.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to winding it down.
Yeah, we're going to stop at
Let's see if we can knock out a Sheridan and.
We might not be able to knock out a Sheridan, bro. We might have to stop right now because it's going to go off, bro. Because there's long history in Sheridan, bro. So we might have to. So I'm gonna knock him. Say, hold on, let me get my. So we're gonna have to end it with a Sheridan because.
What king is the Sheridan?
The Sheridan was the king.
681, 669.
681 is 669.
You can knock out with him, bro, because the following kings. All right, no, you're right. You can stop at a
It's gonna be too long, but it's gonna go into a lot of history. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to end with them, and then for next we go to Babylon, but
it's not much.
All right, go on.
It's Sheridan, so it's going to stop right here. It's stop at Sheridan. Stop.
Yes, that was going into Sennacherib. He was pretty much slain by his 2 eldest sons, and there was, of course, civil war for the throne. But they eventually fell because the people wanted their life. And the 3rd eldest son came up into power, which was Sheridan, which is mentioned in
Tobit.
He's mentioned in Tobit. Get the one in Tobit. Get the one also in Ezra the 4th chapter. Okay. Ezra 4 and 2 at Sheridan. He's also mentioned in the book of 2 Kings, the 18th chapter, but a bit more down. Yeah.
I'm going to read the Tobit one real quick?
Yeah.
This is Tobit 1 and 21. And there passed not 50 days before 2 of his sons killed him.
Mm-hmm.
And they fled into the mountains of Arath.
But hold on for a minute, bro. Yeah. But it was a civil war between the 2 sons because they killed them. The 2 sons killed Sennacherib, but guess what? They didn't know. It's like me and this brother killed our pops, right? Now, me and them fighting over who's gonna rule. They didn't think that out, you know. So now it's a civil war. But guess what? Me and him flees into the mountains, and the 3rd son, which is the youngest son, which is this brother here, he said he started the rule, man. Was a Sheridan, man, and that's how that went out. I'm saying that's how that came to pass, man. That's what.
So while they was on the run, they couldn't do.
It was a civil war between them. You know what I'm saying. Then both of them got put to flight. You know what I'm saying. And that's when this brother, the 3rd guy, the 3rd son of Sennacherib came into power, man.
Yeah, they thought killing Sargon would please the people, but it actually made them more upset.
And it's mentioned in 2 Kings 1937 and Ezra 4 and 2.
There we go. Go ahead.
There's a little more. It says, and Sennacherib, his son, reigned in his stead, who appointed over his father's accounts and over all his affairs. And can you help me pronounce that?
No. Well, see,
I think I pronounced it wrong, right?
That's when the scripture says a Sheridan right there. It's not talking about this as Sheridan.
Achiacaris.
No, that's talking about a
this
different
one right here.
Well,
that's Sennacherib, right?
No, because remember, right when that Sheridan that it's talking about in Tobit is actually talking about Sargon.
Okay.
Yes. Because sometimes the scriptures do that. In other words, when you go into the Greek transliteration, you might see Xerxes and Artaxerxes, or for example, when you go into the book of Esther, it says Artaxerxes, but it's actually just talking about Xerxes. All right? Because we know during the timeline that Sennacherib is before Sheridan and not after. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you can tell.
So this right here, this one, that's a Sheridan then.
Well, a Sheridan Sargon was Sennacherib's third son. Because he had 3 sons.
Did I say that right?
Let me see.
And the two fled, like you said, and then
Yeah.
he was the one that was left.
Yeah. Because Sargon was his third son, bro.
Leave that alone.
All right.
So we have to double check with that. So we're gonna leave that alone.
Verse, which,
Second Kings was it
19.
19 and 37,
19 and 37?
and then get Ezra 4 and 2.
Okay, this is 2 Kings 19 and 37. And it came to pass as he was worshiping in the house of Nisroch,
Mm-hmm.
his god, that Adramelech and Sharezer,
Which were the 2 sons of Sennacherib.
his sons, smote him with the sword.
That's what you get for talking shit against the Heavenly Father, nigga. Go ahead.
His 2 oldest sons, his first and second oldest son.
Go on. That's a good point that Elder made, because the third son is about to come into power.
That's right.
And they escaped into the land of Armenia and Esarhaddon.
But guess what? Before, see that it
jumps like crazy.
but before that, it was a civil war. They was fighting. They was warring against each other who's going to take the rulership.
People wanted to kill their ass too.
And then also, people wanted to kill them because they did a wicked act. You know what I'm saying? Even though they didn't like Sennacherib, but they didn't. That was wicked what they did to their father. Because Sennacherib sacked Babylon, but it didn't matter because Sennacherib was their king. But when they did that wicked wicked thing, the people didn't like that, and then also they was warring against each other because they wanted to know who was going to become in rulership. Like I said, he's the oldest, I'm the second oldest. We whack our pops. You know what I mean? Now me and him is fighting against each other. He got his army, I got my army, and we warring against each other. You know what I mean? But guess what? We both get put to flight, and this brother was our younger brother coming to rulership, which is a Sargon, man.
That's Sargon.
That's Sargon.
That's right.
You know?
Let's jump to Ezra 4 and 2. We're going to close out with this scripture. And Lord, next week what we're going to do is, we're not going to recap. I mean, we're just going to tell our brothers to watch the previous lesson, because that recap
took a lot of time.
Yeah, but it was necessary though.
Yeah,
we mentioned things that we didn't bring out.
It was a spirit. It was more fleshed out with the recap. So
now brothers gonna have to watch the previous video.
yeah, so
The first 2 videos in order to be brought up on the speed on the 3rd video, man.
Yeah, so yeah,
Through the
exactly.
storming, man.
Pretty much. So next week we'll just say, brothers, you can revert back to the previous 2 videos. That way we can get a chunk more of the history and the prophets. And as a review, we're just gonna go through the prophets that we went through.
So we're gonna stop at the Sargon, right?
Yeah, we're gonna stop at the Sargon.
Yeah, we stopped.
You know, all right. So you know what? So leave Ezra 4 and 2. We're gonna save it for next week, as the elders are saying. And you can go back to that timeline, brother.
Yeah.
The prophets.
Okay.
Timeline of the prophets.
Yep.
And you can go up a bit.
Yep.
It's gonna be 681 BC to 669 BC.
That's great. So we went to Elijah, we went to Elisha. All right. Now, in terms of books, we got Jonah first. Then we got Amos, Hosea. Then we have Isaiah. All right. And after him, we should have Micah. Down, scrolling down up to we have Micah during the reign of Jotham. All right. So we just ordered another books. Go ahead, continue. Then we have Nahum. We didn't mention Nahum.
Nope.
We gotta get to Nahum.
But not yet though, right?
We're gonna mention Nahum next
Okay,
week.
next
week.
642.
Yeah, Nahum is
Because no,
the time of Amnon.
It's in the time of
Ammon.
Sargon, man. 681.
Yeah.
Alright,
yeah.
yeah, so
That's next month. That's next week.
So next week we're gonna kick it off for Nahum, because as you can see, brothers, if you've been following the show, the Assyrians are fucking bloody ass people. These niggas just love killing and doing all types of mischief, man. So
They're some bloody bastards.
so we know
we
gotta
gonna stop.
we
We
gotta
stop
bring,
at the kingdom of Sargon, man.
now we definitely gotta bring out Nahum 3 and 1 next week, man.
Come on, go to the
That
bloody city, man.
man, because sure enough, that prophecy was delivered around what, roughly
681 BC
to 16.
69.
to
Yes.
669 BC.
Exactly, and then we know that
Roughly.
and we know that the Assyrian Empire for sure falls around 621. So, pretty much after the Nahum prophesied it, the Most High destroyed it very quickly. You know what I'm saying? And fulfilled the word of the prophet Jonah. So we're gonna stop right here. I brought this out, brothers will edify, brothers will fed. And if you brothers, have anything, just keep doing what y'all doing, posting stuff on the comment boards, challenging and all that, brother. So with that, we're gonna give all praises and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which do well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there. Brothers that sincerely do this thing in truth and sincerity.
Shalom.
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 Man, it's beautiful, man. We stopped at.
Well, just tell me what your name is.
My name is Fountain Hughes. I was born in Charlottesville, Virginia. My grandfather belonged to Thomas Jefferson. My grandfather was 115 years old when he died. And now I am 101 years old. That's enough. She used to work, but what she made, I don't know. I never asked her.
You just go ahead and talk away there. You don't mind, do you, Uncle Fountain?
Now your husband and you both are young. You all try to live like young people ought to live. Don't want everything somebody else has got. Whatever you get, it is yours. Be satisfied. And don't spend your money until you get it. So many people get in debt. Well, it was cheap and I bought it. You spend your money before you get it because you're going in debt for what you want. When you want something, wait until you get the money and pay for it cash. That's what I've done. If I wanted anything, I waited until I got the money and I paid for it cash. I never bought nothing on time in my life. Now, plenty of people, if they want a suit of clothes, they go to work and they buy them on time. Well, they said it was cheap. If you got the money, you can buy them cheaper. They want something for waiting on you for till you get ready to pay them. And if you got the money, you can go where you choose and buy it when you want it. You see, don't buy it because somebody else go down and run a debt and run a bill, or I'm going to run it too. Don't do that. I never done it. Now I'm 100 years old and I don't owe nobody 5 cents. I ain't got no money either. I'm happy, just as happy as somebody that got millions. Nothing worries me. My head ain't even white. And nothing in the world worries me. I can sit here in this house till night. Nobody can come and say, Mr. Hughes, you owe me a quarter, you owe me $1, you owe me 5 cents. No, you can't. I don't owe you nothing. Why? I never made no bills in my life. And I'm living too. And I'm 100 years old. And if you take my advice today, you'll never make a bill. Of course, what you want, give me money, pay them cash. And then the rest of the money is yours. But if you run a bill, so much and so much, and you don't have to pay nothing down. It's all, and when you come to pay, it's all, you have to pay no more. But they'll charge you more. They're getting something out of it, else they wouldn't trust you. But I can't just say what they're getting. But they're getting something out of it, else they wouldn't want your credit. Now I tell you that anybody that trusts you for $2 or have an account with them by the month or by the week, store account or any account, they are getting something out of it. Else they don't want to accommodate you that much to trust you. Now, if I want, of course I ain't got no clothes, but if I want some clothes, if I ain't got no money, I'm going to wait till I get the money to buy them. Indeed I am. I'm not going to say, of course, I can get them on trust. I go down and get them. I got to pay $1 more anyhow. They'll either charge more if they say taxes or so much. But if I got the money to pay cash, I pay the taxes all down cash, then it's all done with. So many colored people is head over heels in debt. Trust them, trust. I get it on time. They want a set of furniture. Go down and pay down so much and rest on time. You done paid for them then. When you pay down so much, you may charge you $50 for $100 for a set, and you pay down $25 cash, you done paid for them. That's all it was worth, $25. And you pay, now I'm $75 in debt now, because I have to pay $100, that's it. And it's only worth about $25. But you buy it on time. But people ain't got sense enough to know it. But when you get old like I am, you come in and think, well, I have done wrong. should have kept my money until I wanted this thing, and when I wanted, I take my money and go pay cash for it. Else I do without it. That's, suppose you want a new dress. You say, well, I buy it, but I don't need it. But I can get it on time. Well, let's go down to the store today and get something on time. Well, you go down and get dressed on time, something else, and I want that to sell that to you on time. You don't have to pay nothing down. But there's a payday coming. And when that payday comes, they want you to come pay them. If you don't, they can't get no more. Well, if you never do that, if you don't start it, you will never end it. I never did buy nothing on time. I must tell you on this. I'm sitting right here now today, and if it's the last word I've got to tell you, I never even much as tried to buy a shirt on time. And plenty of people go to down to the store and buy $3 and $4 for a shirt, $7, $8 for a pair of pants. Of course, they get them on time. I don't know, no. I say, I buy something for $5. Of course, I got the $5. I'll pay for it. I'm done to that.
You talk about how old you are, Uncle Fountain.
Well,
how far back do you remember?
I remember. Well, I tell you, things come to me in spells, you know. I remember things more when I'm laying down than I do when I'm walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in my boy days, boys lived quite different from the way they live now. But boys wasn't as mean as they are now either. Boys lived to, they had a good time, and the masters didn't treat them bad, and they was always satisfied. They never wore no shoes until they was 12 or 13 years old. And now people put on shoes on babies, you know, when they're when they're month old. I don't know. Put shoes on babies, just as soon as you see them out in the street, they got shoes on. I told a woman the other day, I said, I never had no shoes till I was 13 years old. She said, what, but you bruise your feet all up and stump your toes? I said, yes, many times I've stumped my toes and the blood run out of them. That didn't make them buy me no shoes. And I've been, you wore a dress like a woman till I'd be 10, 12, 13 years old.
So you wore a dress, Phil?
Yes, I didn't wear no pants because they didn't make boys pants. Boys wore dresses. Now the women's wearing the dresses and the boys are going with the women's wearing the pants now and the boys wearing the dresses. Still.
Who did you work for, Uncle Fountain?
Who did I work for?
Yeah.
You mean when I was a slave?
Yeah, when you were a slave, who did you work for?
Well, I belonged to Burnley's when I was a slave. My mother belonged to Burnley's. But we was all slave children, and soon after, when we found out that we were free, well, then we were bound out to different people, Ficklin, and Andrews, and all such people as that, and we'd run away and wouldn't stay with them. Well, then we'd just go and stay anywhere we could, lay out at night and anywhere. We had no home, you know. We just turned out like a lot of cattle. You know how to turn cattle out in the pasture? Well, after freedom, you know, colored people didn't have nothing. Colored people didn't have no beds when they were slaves. They all slept on the floor. Pallet here and pallet there. Just like a lot of wild people. We didn't know nothing. Didn't like to look at no book. And there were some freeborn colored people where they had a little education, but there was very few of them where we was. And we all had what you call, I might call it now, jail sentence. We just same as we were in jail. Now I couldn't go from here across the street, or I couldn't go to nobody's house without I have a note or something from my master. And if I had that pass, that was what we call a pass. If I had that pass, I could go wherever he sent me, and I'd have to be back. And whoever he sent me to, they'd give me another pass, and I'd bring that back, so to show how long I'd been gone. We couldn't go out and stay an hour or 2 hours or something like that. Just send you. Now, say for instance, I go out to Shirley's place, I'd have to walk, and I'd have to be back maybe in an hour. Maybe they'd give me an hour. I don't know just how long they'd give me. But they'd give me a note so there wouldn't nobody interfere with me and tell who I belonged to. And when I come back, why, I carry it to my master and give that to him. That'd be all right. But I couldn't just walk away like the people does now, you know. It was what they call, we were slaves. We belonged to people. They sell us like they sell horses and cows and hogs and all like that. Have an auction bench, and they put you up on the bench and bid on you, the same as you're bidding on cattle, you know.
Was that in Charlotte that you were a slave? Was that in Charlotte or Charlottesville?
That is in Charlottesville.
Charlottesville, Virginia.
Sell the women, sell the men. Oh, and then if they had any bad ones, they'd sell them to the nigger traders, what they call the nigger traders, and they'd ship them down south and sell them down south. But otherwise, if you were a good person, they wouldn't sell you. But if you were bad, mean, they didn't want to beat you and knock you around, they'd sell you to the what they call the nigger traders. They'd have a regular, sale every month, you know, at the courthouse. And then they'd sell you maybe $200, $100, $500.
Were you ever sold from one person to another? Were you ever sold?
No, I never was sold.
You always stayed with the same person?
I was too young to sell.
Oh, I see.
See, I wasn't old enough during the war to sell, during the army. And my father got killed in the army, you know, so it left us small children just to live on whatever people choose to give us. I was bound out for $1 a month, and my mother used to collect the money. Children couldn't spend money when I come along. And in fact, when I come along, young men couldn't spend no money until they was 21 years old. And then you're 21, well then you could spend your money. But if you wasn't 21, you couldn't spend no money. I couldn't spend 10 cents if somebody gave it to me. Because they just think, well, he might have stole it. We all come along, you might say, we had to give an account of what you done. You couldn't just do things and walk off and say, I didn't do it. You'd have to give an account of it. Now, after we got free, then they turned us out like cattle. We didn't have nowhere to go. And we didn't have nobody to boss us. And we didn't know nothing. And there wasn't no school. And when they started the little school, well, people that were slaves, many of them go to school, except they had a father and a mother. And my father was dead, and my mother was living. But she had 3, 4 other little children. She had to put them all to work to help take care of the others. So we had what you call worse than dogs have got it now. The dogs have got it now better than we had it when we come along. I remember one night I was out after I was free, and I didn't have nowhere to go. I didn't have nowhere to sleep. I didn't know what to do. My brother and I was together. So we knew a man that had a living stable. And we crept in that yard and got in one of the hacks like an automobile and slept in that hack all night long. So next morning we could get out and go where we belonged. But we were afraid to go at night because we didn't know where to go and didn't know what time to go. But we had got away from there and we were afraid to go back. So we kept slept in that thing all night until the next morning, and we got back where we belonged before the people got up. As soon as day commenced to come break, we got out and commenced to go where we belonged. But we never done that but the one time. After that, we always, if it was away, we'd try to get back before night come. But then that was on a Sunday too, that we done that. Now, when we were slaves, we couldn't do that, see? And after we got free, we didn't know nothing to do. And my mother, she hunted places and bound us out for $1 a month. And we stayed there maybe a couple of years. And she'd come over and collect the money every month. And $1 was worth more then than $10 is now. And the men used to work for $10 a month, $120 a year, used to hire that way. Now you can't get a man for $50 a month. If you pay a man now $50 a month, you don't want to work for it.
More like $50 a week nowadays.
Well, that's just it exactly. They want $50 a week, and they ain't got no more now, and we had then. And we, no more money, but of course they bought more stuff, more property and all like that. We didn't have no property, we didn't have no home, we had nowhere, nothing, we didn't have nothing on it, just like the cattle, we just turned out and get along the best you could. Nobody to look after us, so we've been slaves all our lives. My mother was a slave, my sister was a slave, father was a slave.
Who was your father a slave for, Uncle Found?
He's a slave for Burnley. He belonged to Burnley.
Didn't he belong to Thomas Jefferson at one time?
He didn't belong to Thomas Jefferson. My grandfather belonged to Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, your grandfather did?
Yeah. And my father belonged to Burnley. And Burnley died during the wartime because he was afraid he'd have to go to war. But now, and in them days, you could hire a substitute to take your place. Well, he couldn't get a substitute to take his place, so he ran away from home. And he took cold. And when he come back, the war was over, but he died. And then, if he had lived, it couldn't have been no good. The Yankees just come along and just broke the mill open, and rolled all the flour out in the river, and broke the stove, and sold all the meat out in the street, and sold all the sugar out. And we boys would pick it up and carry it and give it to our missus and master, young masters, until we come to be, well, I don't know how. I don't know, to tell you the truth. When I think of it today, I don't know how I'm living. None of the rest of them as I know of is living. I'm the oldest one that I know that's living. But still, I'm thankful to the Lord. Now, if my master wanted to send me, he never said you couldn't get a horse and ride and walk. You know, walk. You'd be barefooted, cold, but it didn't make no difference. He wasn't no more than a dog, some of them in them days. He wasn't treated as good as he treat dogs now. But still, I don't like to talk about it because it makes people feel bad. You know. Well, I could say a whole lot I don't like to say. I won't say a whole lot, no.
Do you remember much about the Civil War?
No, I don't remember much about it.
You were a little young then, I guess, huh?
I remember when the Yankees come along and took all the good horses and sold all the meat and flour and sugar and stuff out in the river and let it go down the river. And they know the people wouldn't have nothing to live on, but they done that. And that's the reason why I don't like to talk about it. And people, and if you was cooking anything to eat in there for yourself, and if they was hungry, they'd go and eat it all up, and you'd get nothing. They'd just come in and drink up all the milk, and just do as you please. And time to be passing by all night long, walking, mudding, raining. Oh, they have a total time. Colored people is free. You ought to be awful thankful. And some of them are sorry they are free now. Some of them now would rather be slaves.
Which would you rather be, Uncle Fountain?
Me? Which I'd rather be? You know what I'd rather do? If I thought, had any idea, that I'd ever be a slave again, I'd take a gun and just end it all right away. Because you're nothing but a dog. You're not a thing but a dog. Night never comes out. You have nothing to do. Time cut tobacco. If they want you to cut all night long out in the field, you cut. And if they want you to hang all night long, you hang tobacco. It didn't matter about your tired, being tired, you're afraid to say you're tired. They just, well.
When did you come to Baltimore?
You know when, you don't remember when Garfield died, do you? When they shot Garfield? No, I don't think you were born.
I don't think I was.
No. Well, I don't remember what year that was myself now. But I know you wasn't born. And I come to Baltimore that year, and I don't remember what year it was now myself. But if I was laying in the bed, I could remember. But I don't remember now.
Did you go to work for Mr. Shirley when you came to Baltimore?
Oh, no. I worked for a man by the name of Reed when I first come to Baltimore. I commenced to haul manure for him. All horses was here then. No electric cars, no cable cars, they were all horse cars. And I used to haul manure, go around to different stables, everybody had horses for their use when I first come here. They had coachmen, men to drive them around, didn't have automobiles, they hadn't been here so long. And then they put on a cable car, what they call cable cars. Well, they run them for a little while, maybe a couple of 3 years or 4 years. Then somebody invented the electric car, and that first run on North Avenue. Well, it had to run a while, and they kept on inventing until they got them all different kinds of cars involved. There was horse cars. There wasn't no electric cars at all. There wasn't no big cars like you got now, you know. I just can't think of what year it was. But
yeah. You're not getting tired, are you, young fellow?
No, I ain't. I'm just same as at home. It's like I was settling in the house. And I was thinking about, now you know how we served the Lord when I come along, a boy?
How was that?
We would go to somebody's house, and well, we didn't have no houses like they got now, you know. We had these what they call log cabins. And they have maybe one old colored man would be there, maybe he'd be as old as I am, and he'd be the preacher. Not as old as I am now, but he'd be the preacher, and they'd all sit down and listen to him talk about the Lord. Well, he'd say, well, I wonder, sometimes you say, I wonder if we'll ever be free. Well, some of them say, well, we're going to ask the Lord to free us. So they say, well, we're going to sing. Wonder shall I ever reach heaven? Or wonder shall I fly? And they would sing that for about an hour. Then the next one they'd get up and say, let's sing a song. We're going to live on milk and honey. Way by and by. I can hear them singing now, but I can't repeat it like I could in them days. But someday when I'm not hoarse, I could tell you, and I could sing it for you, but I'm too hoarse now. And then he would sing, I'm gonna sing around the altar. I wish I could sing it for you. I'm going to sing around.
Well, I wish you could too.
And someday you come over here and I'm not host, You get me to come up here and I'll sing. I'll try to sing it for you.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
It says, now, I heard people here now sing about roll, Jordan, roll. Well, that's old time people. That's what the old people used to sing in the old back days.
So roll, Jordan, roll?
Yeah, but they don't sing it like the old people used to sing it in them days.
Mm-hmm.
They sing it quite different now. There's another one they sing, by and by, when the morning comes. Well, they sing that different too. But they're getting the old people's song. I hear them come over the radio. I know them all just as good as they, but they sing them different.
They have different names.
Yes, well, they cut them off short and all like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's, if I had my voice, I would sing just one for you so you're going at it, but I can't do it on account of my voice. But someday you come over here, you come and call me up and let me know how my voice is. Ever since I took that medicine from my doctor, it hurt my voice. Now there was a preacher in my house the other night. He lived right next door to me, and he played on the piano. And he played something, and I sung it for him. And now he wants me to go down to his church next Sunday. I told him, I said, now if I go down to your church, I'll not sing nothing. Because if I do, I'll get hoarse, I can't talk. But he said, Brother Hughes, I don't care whether you're singing. I just want you to go down there and let the people see who you are. Let them see what the old people is. I said, well, I'll be glad to go down with you. So next Sunday, I'm going down to his church if I leave and nothing happens. Yeah. But if he sings something old,
just sing along with
it. I feel the spirit now, but I can't. I got to keep quiet. Now, do you ever hear this fellow that comes over the radio? I think they call him Holmes. Comes over Sunday night about 12 o'clock on WFBR.
No, I don't know if I've ever heard him or not.
Well, you turn him on. He comes on a quarter after 11 on Sunday night. Well, you must have heard him because he says, you can't keep a good man down. So he makes so much noise, look like everybody ought to hear him. But now when that fellow comes on, I'm laying in the bed. Don't you know, I get just so I got to be in that because it's all old time business. Mm-hmm. And somebody don't like it. They says, I don't like home. I said, why? Oh, he says it makes too much noise. I said, well, the Bible said make a noise over Jesus. Jesus said make a noise over me. So he makes a noise over me. And I does enjoy it, certainly, sure. Oh, everybody, and he's got a big crowd, and we just get so happy. I got to do that too. Boy, when you feel the grace of God, you got to jump up. I lay in bed, I got to get up. Have to carry on. And then next morning I can't talk. Doctor gave me that medicine, it just tore me all to pieces.
Mm-hmm. I sure hope it comes back again, because I'd like to hear you sing.
The old people used to say, I wonder if I shall ever reach heaven, or wonder shall I fly. Well, I used to could sing it. Well, sometimes I feel the spirit, you know, and I might get to sing something again someday. People now,
Do you go to church every Sunday, Uncle Fenton?
I don't go to church at all. I listen to the radio.
Listen to it on the radio, huh?
Because I'll tell you why I don't go to church.
You rather not have this on? You rather not tell me, or you rather not have this on when you tell me?
It don't make a difference. I ain't gonna say nothing wrong. I ain't gonna say something. If I think